Hello everyone, welcome back to the Football Chuggu Podcast. My name is Thomas Durning, and today on the podcast we have Pearse McLaughlin, and we also have someone who's been on this podcast before, and he goes by the name of Tommy McLaughlin.
Nice to meet you.
So today on the podcast we're going to be reviewing last week's Euro quarter-final matches, and then we'll discuss and preview the semi-final Euro matches, and then we'll also talk about a couple of club football news, a couple of stories from the club football news, including retiring, a couple of players retiring. So we'll start off with the Euros quarter-final matches. So we'll go with last Friday. So we had two matches. We had Spain 2, Germany 1, and Portugal 0, France 0, and France won on penalties 5-3. So we now know that Spain and France are in the semi-final. And that is and it'll be Spain versus France in the semi-finals of the Euros. So, guys, what do you think about the two matches?
Well, touching on the Spain-Germany, I think it was like we previewed it as like the big tie of the week, to be honest. Two powerhouses in world football and European football. And Spain have been free-flowing, attacking football. Probably Germany probably been the second best team in the tournament after Spain, and obviously, but they're the host nation. And we all thought it was going to be a tight game. It's going to be a blockbuster affair, and it didn't disappoint. Because Spain took an early lead, and then obviously Germany equalised with Florian Wirtz in the 90th minute. And then obviously a script that just cannot be written was Mikel Merino scoring in the 119th minute and doing the exact same celebration his dad did about 20 odd years ago, which is a fitting tribute. Because his dad was a footballer for Spain, and he did it in the Euros in Germany as well, in the same stadium, which was incredible sight to see. But not surprised. I think we predicted a Spain win, but surprised how close it was. But both sides played really good football, and yeah, Spain progresses to the next round.
Aye. Did you like that one? Did you like that match, Tommy, or did you not like it?
I liked it because it's I'd go over what Pierce said. Like I don't think it was the match of the week. I think it's the match of the tournament. Like because these two big dogs coming up. I know there was not many goals, but like there's only three goals, but they matched each other very well until the end. You know, like you kept you on the edge of your seats. Like you wanted also, a lot of people wanted Germany to go through because it's the host nation of the tournament, and also Tony Kroos, like this will be his last Euros, so like a lot of people wanted Germany to win it probably because it'd be fitting for him to like kind of end his international career with a trophy. And in Spain, they've just got this amazing like kind of youth system of players that comes through. They got like, for me, the standard performer for like Spain is Nico Williams. He is utterly sublime. Like he came through like with a football bow. Everybody didn't even know what he was going to be like. They thought maybe he's not going to be as good as his brother. His brother's probably going to be better, and he's outshining his brother for his national for his club as well. And now he's outshining a lot of players for the national team. So a lot of people are focusing on like Lamal, but Lamal doesn't get much time because he's 16, and in the rules, like obviously Germany, if you're under the age of 17, you only can play a maximum of like 70 minutes per game. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
I
I
heard
didn't know
about
either.
that. And
Aye.
so when I was watching the game, I thought, I'm not gonna lie, Marino, is it the guy, so said Marino? What's his name?
Marino.
Mikel Merino.
Marino. He is a powerhouse, but he's a box to box. Like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't. I've seen a couple of videos of him in the past, but for Spain, he's just like a different animal. It's like he's coming up against like an amazing team like Germany, and he's winning headers, he's winning tackles, and spraying the ball about. I was like, who is this guy? You know what I mean? He plays for Sociedad, not for like Bayern Munich. So I thought, for me, I think that Spain are the powerhouse to stop. If a team can stop them, I'll be shocked because like I said, they're just getting power to power to power to power.
Yeah. No, I think they're the favourites to win the tournament. I think they've been the best team so far in the tournament. That was a great. I actually enjoyed that match quite a lot. It was a really good match to watch. Also, Germany got the goal in the last kind of minutes of the game in normal time. And then in extra time, you were thinking. I mean, it was set to go to penalties. I was like, I was waiting for penalties. I wasn't really watching extra time because it was both teams weren't really going for it, and I
Mm.
missed the second goal. The Spain injury time winner. I missed it because I was just getting ready for penalties. So it was quite a shock to see that Marino, uh, in the opposition box coming up with that header. But what a win that is for Spain. Heartbreak for Germany in the end, who I think they've been the second best team in the tournament. Obviously, they're out now, but it was a great match. I knew that was going to be a good match because both teams have been really good this tournament, and it was. And then obviously Spain with that amazing kind of last minute goal to send them to semi final. So yeah, congrats to Spain. We also had the other match, Portugal France 0-0. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I only have one word to say about that. I just might disagree, but I thought it was very boring.
No, I agree. I second that opinion. I thought it was a very poor game. There was a lack of quality in the game. There was just a couple of half chances at best for both teams.
Can't even remember a chance.
That's what I'm saying. It's like half chance, like probably shots that probably blazed over or whatever. But I don't think any team deserved to win the game. I think penalty was a perfect outcome for that match. But like you say, I think a lot of teams have been this tournament been a lot of taking a like, pragmatic approach in terms of just not wanting to lose the game rather than try to just go and win the game.
Yeah,
I think obviously Portugal dominated possession, but they didn't really do much with it. And then obviously France progressed. It's obviously a sad sight to see. It's obviously Ronaldo's last Euros. He's crashed out. But I don't think France did enough to win the game. I think it was a very boring game, but France progressed, and that's all that matters.
hmm did you enjoy it, Tommy?
I thought it was. I felt it was a really boring game, but I really feel sorry for Ronaldo this tournament. By the way, like nobody is delivering the passes, the crossing. Nobody's doing a link up play. He's having to drop deep. He's having to play midfield, and when he's like going in the box for a corner, Joao Felix, the guy that would cost 100 odd million for Barcelona, can he get the ball past the first defender? Are you kidding me, man?
I
Like,
know.
man, Granny with no knees can kick it further than that. You know what I mean? It's like it's
Did he score that?
ridiculous.
Did he
Like,
score this tournament? I don't think he did.
no, he didn't. No goals. He had an opportunity to score in the game against Turkey, but he decided to pass to Bruno. And I was a bit shocked. Like Bruno had the same opportunity later on in the game to pass it to Ronaldo. And what did he do? He shoots and misses. I was like, Ronaldo must be like going into the changing room and be like, why am I even in this team, by the way? These players don't even want to pass to me. These players don't even want to link up with me. Like, because I think after that kind of Man U kind of like fiasco with Ronaldo, I think most of the team turned against him and to like kind of put him in a negative light. They just don't want to like kind of play with him. They don't really like, for instance, like Cancelo, Bruno Fernandes, they turned their back on him like quite quickly. If you seen the training ground, they don't really communicate to Ronaldo. And
hmm
when I was watching the game, oh my God, Mbappe to Real Madrid, free. Oh yeah, I would pay. If I was PSG, I'd pay Real Madrid to take him. He's absolutely minced, by the way. Scott
Aye,
McTominay
that's
would
no
do
tournament.
better. You know what I mean?
I wish he
I'm
did
not
do
gonna lie.
better.
Ryan Porteous had a better tournament than Mbappe. I mean, his highlight was a red card. You know what I mean? What's Mbappe done? Tell me, what has he done? You don't see him in the newspapers. Ryan Porteous in the front page, red card, 5-1 Germany. You know what I mean? You don't see Mbappe doing anything this tournament. And as well, Scott McKenna, by the way, I need to mention him, by the way. He doesn't get enough game time, by the way. If you're not going to play him defence, we've not got a striker, put him up front. He's 6'4", all right? He'll get goals for you. He'll get goals for you. Cross it in, bang. I mean, I'm
I don't know
saying
how we've
Scotland.
ended. I don't know how we've ended up talking about Scott McKenna when we're discussing Portugal v
Oh,
France.
sorry. Let me get back to the topic. Sorry, Portugal. Yeah, I felt sorry for Ronaldo because, as Pearse said, it's his last tournament, and it's I think he, even after they crashed out, I think he was apologising to the fans. He was apologising for the situation that went in because he felt so sorry because these people come to Germany to watch them to win, and he's the captain. He has to take responsibility for every bad kind of like player in the team. And he also said that he wants to play in the next World Cup, and he'll be like, I think it's like what age will he be in the next World Cup? 41.
No, I will done that. It'll be oh no, yeah, no, 41. I think it'll be 41 or 42.
But did you see like Pepe as well was crying and Ronaldo seen it and he gave
Yeah,
him a wee hug? That was sad,
yeah, that
man.
was nice.
I,
That was
I
nice.
wanted I wanted Portugal to go to the final. I did want kind of Ronaldo to win it. I'm not a Ronaldo fan, but he's when I watched him, I kind of felt sorry for him. I became like kind of one of his sympathisers. I'm like, what does he need to do for people to actually pass him the ball? I mean, what does he need to do?
I know.
A lot of people
No,
are negative. He's like, he's not scoring any goals. He's had a terrible tournament. People wanted him to fail for some reason. Like I was
is
watching
that
before the Euros.
is that
Aye,
the first time he's never scored in a major tournament? I think it is.
I
Yeah.
think so. Aye.
And
Yeah,
if he did score, he'd have broke a record. It'd have been 6 consecutive Euros, but he didn't.
because he missed that penalty, didn't he, against Slovenia?
Oh,
He did. Aye.
He did.
that's
No, I think they've been both rubbish this tournament, Portugal and France. I can't believe how bad France have been this tournament. I mean, they haven't even scored they haven't scored a goal from open play yet. They've scored 4 goals this tournament. Three of them have been own goals, and one of them's been a penalty. I mean, and they're in the semi-final. How does that even happen? How does that even happen? And they've got literally the best attack in the tournament. They've got players like Mbappe, Dembele, Thuram. I mean, I could go on,
Barcola.
Kolo Muani, and yet they can't score from open play. Like, what is that about? And they're in the semi-final. I mean, it's crazy, man. That was a really poor game. I was so disappointed with that match. I really was. It was 120 minutes, and I can't even remember anything exciting that happened. I mean, it was ridiculous. I was so glad that game was over. I mean, João Felix missed the penalty, but I mean, I think I mean France will obviously be happy they got through, but I don't think they should be that happy because I think they've been really poor this whole tournament. So that was really disappointing. But France are in are in the semi-finals. We'll move on to the other games, which were played on the day after, the Saturday, the 6th of July. So we had England 1, Switzerland 1. England won that game 5-3 on penalties, and we had Netherlands 2, Turkey 1. So that means that England and Netherlands are in the semi-final, and they'll be playing against each other in the semi-final. So, guys, we'll start off with England Switzerland. England winning penalties. What was your thoughts?
Similar to the other matches, I think England again didn't really. I think they flat out to deceive. Don't really create too many opportunities. They go behind and instantly respond, which is obviously a brilliant sign in terms of their never say die attitude. But again, it takes them to go behind to actually start attacking, and then once they get the goal back, they just start parking the bus again. It's just Southgate tactics. It's not very exciting to watch considering the amount of talent they've got on offer in terms of attacking areas. Could you possibly see their weaknesses or defence? But I look at someone like Harry Kane. I think he drops far too deep. He doesn't need to be that deep, and he doesn't look as if he's his normal self. I think he is carrying a little bit of an injury. And also did pick up an injury in the season with Bayern Munich. I don't think he's fully recovered from that. He has got 2 goals this tournament, but he hasn't been his lofty heights that he's usually performing in terms of at Tottenham and obviously England and Bayern Munich. But in terms of England beating Switzerland in penalties, I think we kind of called Switzerland would probably narrowly win the match, but
Mm-hmm. They
England,
nearly did.
they nearly did. But I think Switzerland grew proud of themselves the fact that they got this far and they drove England all the way because if you look at it on paper, England have got a far better squad and a far higher caliber of player in their side. But drove them all the way and like you say, penalty shoots a lottery and England have won it this time and they progressed to the next round.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What about you, Tommy? Did you think England deserved to go through? Do you think Switzerland deserves to go through? What do you think?
I would say it was quite an even game for me
It was.
because what Switzerland have done this negatively is they've not played the big calf boy, you know what I mean, from the start. Big shikiri. The calf's the size of like arms, man. I'm telling you. If a guy's got like legs the size of arms, the Rock's arms and that one, his calves are insane.
He
And
nearly
they're not
scored
even
from a corner.
I know. Like, see that goal that he scored against, sorry, like go off topic, but the one he scored against Scotland, I know it was a bad pass back from Ralston, but if you watch that finish, by the way, how does he even strike a ball like that, by the way? And they're not even
Yeah.
starting him,
Just for
they're
bringing
putting
that
him on the
up, by
bench.
the way.
I know, it was a
I'm
negative
just to
thing
get
for it.
over that as well.
Are you English, Tommy?
Nah, but
No, I'm just saying, I was a bit over it. And now
uh,
he's bringing that up.
so I think, like, as a Scotsman, you don't want to see England going too far, you know what I mean? Because it's coming home. The only thing it's coming home is your mum from the fucking shops with milk, you know what I mean? I Like I don't
Oh,
see like
God.
they've got all these big stars. They've got these big stars, Bellingham. They've got like John Stones and stuff like that. And they're leaving a lot of big players out, like in the team. I don't know if Southgate's not bringing on Cole Palmer.
Bukayo Saka's been good.
He's always got like inform when he plays for his country. He plays decent for Arsenal because of the system, but he doesn't really get too high like kind of like goals and games and assists and shit. But
No, no.
I would say Cole Palmer, he's been a standout performer this season in the Premier League, and I don't know why he's not getting much minutes. Like, just give him a
I
shot.
know.
What's the worst that can happen? Score a couple of goals. You know what I mean,
Yep. But they're in
and
the
I think
semi-final.
semi-final, but like this Euros has been disastrous. Dis, I changed words.
Disastrous.
Been sorry, I can't even say the word. Sorry, it's been terrible because
Oh,
horrendous. I say because everybody's expecting like the Euros. All the best countries are in Europe. Like the biggest players and all the stars of the world are in Europe. So that this is going to be many goals, many goals, many goals. It's been horrendous. It's been like maximum like maybe 2 goals average a game. No, less than 2 goals, like maybe 1 goal average a game, I would say. And England,
I know.
the Bellingham, he scored that overhead kick against what the other team, but apart from that, Bellingham has been missing. He's been missing in midfield. He's been caught in the ball. He's not looking like the player that you see him for Real Madrid because Southgate's system, he's not really fitting into it. And
Hmm.
I don't know how he's still playing. Like he got a ban, but he's allowed to see it out within 2 years. He's allowed to use it whenever he wants. I don't get that. You get banned, but you say, "Oh, but you don't need to take it now. You've got 2 years to take your ban." I mean, he went up to a crowd and grabbed his groin area. There's children in the stadium and people like that. He shouldn't be banned. He said it's like sexually explicit to children. I mean, and
Yep.
and watching the game against England versus Switzerland, I thought Mbolo, he was quite good. He could have had a couple of goals, but apart from that, I think it deserved to go to penalties. Definitely, 100%. None of the
Yeah.
teams did enough to kind of like get the game over the line, and England should be proud that they actually won in penalties because that's probably the first time they've won in penalties.
I was going to say, I think it did deserve to go to penalties. I thought the game was very even, but I thought England on penalties were brilliant. I mean, all their penalties were great. I mean, Ivan Tony's penalty. He didn't even look at the ball. He just
Hmm.
he just knew where he was going. He just was like, woof. Didn't even look once at the ball. I mean, how's that for confidence? No, but England got lucky again. But they're in the semi final. They'll play Holland, who won 2-1 against Turkey. Uh, did they deserve to be in the semi final, guys? What do you think? I mean, I thought they were lucky. I thought Turkey played really well. In my opinion, I actually thought Turkey deserved to go through, but Holland managed to turn it around in the last 20 minutes or so, and they got that win. But what do you guys think?
I think it's
Disagree?
similar to the previous round, Tom. In terms of, I think Plan A doesn't work for Holland. They go behind and they bring the big guys on the part and play for set pieces and whip balls into the box, and that's ultimately what happened. The pressure told in the end, and when you get players like Van Dijk, De Vrij, Ake, Weghorst, like big man in and around the area, crowding that penalty area, and then you've got knockdowns and deflections. Anything can happen, and that's ultimately what happened. And it's kind of got Ronald Koeman's side into a semi final. Well, again, I don't think they play great. They've got brilliant talent at their disposal in terms of attacking and forward lines and midfield and stuff like that. But again, they're not performing to the lofty heights they do for the club or they've done in the qualification process. So I think Holland, again, are flattered to see. I think Turkey, again, similar to Switzerland, done absolutely tremendous getting to this point in the tournament, and they can count themselves really unlucky to not make it to a semi-final. But ultimately, it's the big guns in terms of Holland that have managed to sneak through, and they can count themselves lucky. But now they've got a monster tie against England, which is we'll talk about in a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yep. What about you, Tommy?
For me, I've been keeping tabs on Turkey because I've got a couple of colleagues that I used to work with that are Turkish, and I've watched a couple of Turkey games. What I've noticed, Turkey are actually really, really strong. Like on like core wise, like they've got a lot of players that kind of play well together. But the only thing that they lack is getting the ball in the net. If you look at a lot of their games, like they won against Portugal when
Yeah.
Portugal beat them. Was it 5-0?
3-0.
Aye,
Yeah.
3-0.
You know.
They were better than Portugal that game. They dominated the game, and then it just a couple of mistakes from defence and a pass back on goal, and that kind of ruined the kind of like their momentum because I felt as if they kind of kept took that guy off, the guy that's caused 2 goals, should have took him off that earlier and put somebody else on. They would have probably, I would say, got a draw or maybe even nicked it against Portugal. And watching the game against obviously Netherlands, again, strong until like obviously at the end they bring the big boys on, and there's no many very tall Turkish people in the national team. I feel like the rights of these giants coming into the box, you're whipping it in. They've got the ability of Frimpong whipping it in, and Javi Simmons taking the ball and driving down the wing and that. It's kind of just leaving them open to like kind of conceding from big back post headers and front post headers. And I felt sorry for them because they did so well getting, as Pearse said, to this later stage, and they probably thought they held on to like penalties and that. They probably think, nah, we can hold on to penalties, and then
Yep.
second goal goes in.
No, no. No. Unfortunately for Turkey, I thought they were really good this turn. Arda Güler, we all knew about him anyway at Real Madrid, but I think he kind of made more of an. We kind of got to see him even more on the big stage. I thought he was really good this tournament. So unfortunate for Turkey, but Holland are through. So we'll start off with the first semi-final match, which will be played tonight at the time of recording this, which will be Spain versus France. So guys, who's going to go to the final?
For me, it's going to be Spain. I think the form just backs Spain. And for me, they've just performed to a high level throughout the tournaments. They've been very consistent. And I think their attacking lineup and the midfield and defence have just been solid. And that includes the goalkeeper as well. I think Simon's a brilliant goalkeeper. I think they've got a nice balance to the Spanish team in terms of youth experience. But a big miss will be Danny Carvajal, who did get sent off against Germany with 2 bookable offences. So, be interested to see who comes in at right back. Um, but I'm assuming somebody will slot in there perfectly because they all know the routine, they all know the system. And I think, like you say, for me, the standout performers have been like Rodri in the spine in the middle of the park, balanced with Fabian Ruiz and Pedri. And then for me, the standout player too is probably Nico Williams. Um, so I think if you can get the ball to him and Lamine Yamal as well, they can cause any team problem. I think France, um, they did look suspect against Portugal. They did sneak through. There was a few times on the counter attack. If they made the right pass, there was opportunities to get in. And I think if Spain have the opportunities to break and hurt France, then they will. They will punish them. So I expect Spain to go through and expect it to be quite a comfortable one. I think I'm going to go with 3-0 Spain win.
Oof. I'm going to say I
But
think it will be. Sorry, Tommy. I think Spain will win. Just because of the form that they're in. I don't think it'll be 3-0. I'm going to say it's going to end 1-0 to Spain. I think Spain will dominate the ball. I think France will try to hit them in the counter attack, but I'm going to say there'll be a late goal in that game, and I'm going to give it to Spain. I think they'll win it 1-0. What do you think, Tommy?
I think 2-0 Spain. So like Pearse went for 4-0. I'm going for
I went
2-0,
for
you
three.
went for 1-0.
Went for three.
3-0. So as I was saying, like Spain, if they lose against France, that's disappointing because France can't even score a goal outside of like open play. Like they're just like they've been so disappointing. If they even get a scrapey goal, that just means that like the Spanish players are just not turned up that day. Like because they've been so solid, they should just wipe them out. Not just like they don't need to wipe them out with goals. They just need to wipe them out with like spraying the ball about, just take the piss, and take the mick out of them, and just like show them that Spain have got the most technical ability in their players. The likes of Pedri, the likes of Nico Williams, who got the rights to like Lamal, even the midfield Fabian Ruiz. He has been bossing it in midfield. I was looking at one of the games, and he sent three midfielders to the shop with just like one turn. He's been a standard performer for Napoli as well. I mean, like Fabian Ruiz has been playing at a top level for a little while in Italy, and now he's beginning to show it in the national team. I'm quite proud of him. So I think that should be 2-0. I'm going to even predict the goal scorers as well. I'm going to say Fabian Ruiz will get a goal, and Nico Williams will get the winner.
Yeah. No, what we've got England and Holland. That's the second match. I think that game will go to penalties. I've got 1-1 in my head. I think it'll go all the way to penalties, and I think Holland will nick it. I think they'll win on penalties. But I think that's going to be a real because I think both teams have been similar in this tournament, very cagey. Some good performances, some bad performances. So I think that's going to be a really cagey game. But I'm going to say Holland win that on penalties. Well, what do you think? Start with you, Pearse.
I think the same in terms of it'll be a cagey affair. I think it will just continue the flow of the tournament so far, and I think it'll be another Southgate masterclass in terms of another draw and take to penalties. Um, and I think obviously, second your opinion, I think Holland will nick it. In terms of penalty shootout, I think the game. I'm actually going your result. I'm going to go a 0-0. I think it'll be that tight, that boring. There'll be limited chances for either side. I think it'll be the both defenses will become prominent and they'll just nullify both attacks. And I think there'll be no goals. I don't think it'll be a wonderful game, but I think in terms of getting to a final, I think Holland will just do enough on penalty shooters.
Yeah, I think as well. I think it's not going to be a draw. I'm going to say 2-1 Holland. I'm going to say the winner is going to be scored in the 118th minute, the extra time. I think like they're just going to be able just to nick it. I think it's going to be a scrapey own goal from John Stones, something like a defender that they're going to play, maybe that guy from Crystal Palace, something like that. I feel like there's going to be an own goal. It's going to cause an upset, and then, as you say, England said it's coming home. Your fans will be going home unhappy. I mean, because everybody knows that the most arrogant fans in the world, by nobody wants them. They're just like Arsenal fan TV, you know what I mean? All over again. Nobody wants that. I mean, we want teams that are like ability to win games. No teams that like think they're like got the Jude Bellingham's. Oh yeah, one player doesn't win you a game. One player. You can put all the best players on the team. You wouldn't win a game. You need to have a good manager. And Southgate is not. He's been terrible for ages, but they can't find anybody better anyway. So I think the end of the result will be 2-1, 2-1 Holland. And I think the winner will be scored by an own goal. First goal will be scored by Javi Simmons. And I think Jude Bellingham will score again.
Yeah, and you think Holland will win on penalties?
No, 2-1.
Oh, you think, right, okay, right, okay, right. Well, that's our prediction sorted. We'll obviously see what happens. This time next week, we'll know who the winner is of the tournament. So on the podcast next week, we'll discuss that even further, and we'll Yeah, and then we'll give a big a further rundown of the tournament, if we've enjoyed it or not, and best players, etc. So yeah, we'll discuss that more next week. So we'll move on now to a bit of club football. So there's not a lot happening at the moment in terms of transfer news, obviously because of the tournament, both here and also around the world. So there's not a lot of activity, so there's not really a lot to talk about. But we've had a couple of retirement pieces of news. So we'll start off with Tommy's favourite man. I'm sure people who are watching this might have noticed behind him that he's got a couple of photos of some of a very important player for him. So it's Andy Considine. We've talked about him on this podcast before. He's announced this week that he is retiring from professional football, and I think it's safe to say, Tommy, that you are heartbroken.
Oh, heartbroken. See, when he left Aberdeen to go to St Johnstone, heartbroken. I started supporting St Johnstone as well. I'm a big Aberdeen fan, but Andrew Constantine made me love the team because at the age of 17, the way he graced the pitch so elegantly, it was called like the Maldini of Scottish football. You know what I mean? He's got the tackling, he's got the deliveries, he's got the fight. Like nobody would come near him. And obviously he was slowing down when he got older, but he still had that sex appeal, you know what I mean? Like when he walks in, he's got the swagger, you know what I mean? You say, this guy can boogie, you know what I mean? So I kind of get any upset as well, and he's no reply to my DM about him. I invited him to my wedding, he didn't turn up and didn't even look at my wedding. I mean, you'd have been beautiful at my wedding, mate, wearing a kilt, son. I mean, but yeah, I thought as well, like that hat trick he scored against uh,
Dundee.
the Den Dundee. Oh, two beautiful headers and a wee volley. Oh, can I get better than that?
Beautiful. Well,
You
you
know,
enjoyed that then?
oh yeah. And see,
Uh,
like I play FIFA as well. He's in my team. Oh, him and Scott McKenna. Oh, the fastest back line in the world. I even said to my brother, I was like that. I think back in the day, Real Madrid should have signed Considine, by the way. He was still playing for them in the Champions League and that, winning them Champions Leagues back to back. Him and Pepe should have stayed as well.
that
That'd
would
be
be
it.
a partnership I'd love to have seen.
Oh yeah. Or a five at the
Uh,
back, Ramos, uh, Considine in the middle, and then Pepe in the right. Oh, you're not getting by that, by the way. Big men, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's sad to see that he didn't get called up to the Euros, like back from retirement for you again. I mean, he would have took us to the final. As I said, if he was playing, we should have took
it's a big statement.
the Porteous shouldn't be taken. I know he had a fantastic red card in that, but I think with the performance he was doing for like Hibs, he was a loose wire. If you watch him in the SPL, he is a dirty player. He just likes to get red carded. It's as if he has like framed pictures of his red cards in his house and he just wants to get another one. He shouldn't have took him. We had other players we could have took. Grant Hanley I thought was quite good as well. But if you had Considine, bring him out of retirement just for the last Euros, we'd have done well. Sad to see him go.
Well, he's gone. He's retired. But you never know, Tommy. He might come out of Vietnam and give you a visit. It might be a
Oh,
surprise. You'll just you'll just you'll just need to wait and see. So Andy Considine retired. We also found out yesterday that Thiago Alcantara has retired. He played for a host of big clubs like He's only played for Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and Liverpool.
mm.
So yep, that's him now retired. Thoughts?
Well, another man that's career's cut short by injuries. I think he's had a phenomenal career in terms of coming through Barcelona for the youth ranks. Never really get into the team much in terms of as a starter because obviously that trident of Xavi and Iniesta and Busquets goes to Bayern Munich, follows Guardiola, becomes a mainstay, wins virtually every trophy you can possibly imagine. And then he comes to Liverpool and he does well in his first season, but then he starts to pick up a couple of niggling knocks, doesn't seem to shake it off, and then he obviously ultimately has to retire at an early age, which is a sad sight to see because obviously for me, very technically gifted, he can play a number of positions in that midfield, and probably one of the most graceful midfielders you ever see in terms of the way he strikes the ball, the way he glides, and that wee shimmy he gets past his opponent because he's not exactly the quickest or the strongest, but he throws himself about the pitch and he's one player that will win you trophies because he's done that wherever he's went. And sad to see him go, but another legend bows out.
I would agree. Like, obviously, like for me, this generation, he's probably up with the top three most technically gifted players in world football before he retired. Because the way he brings down a ball, the way he passes, the way he plays, the intelligence he has, he knows he doesn't even need to look up when he's passing it. He knows where the players are. And obviously, injuries. That's what I'm saying. Like, see when people say like about like comparing like kind of like older players to younger players and say you can't compare because of the age. A young player could get a bad injury and that's his career gone. Like for example, like Aaron Ramsey, like when he was playing for like Arsenal. No, Jack Wilshere. So Jack Wilshere was playing for Arsenal. Got a really bad injuries throughout his career, and he was on fire when he was playing for Arsenal. That's what I'm saying. Like with this Thiago Alcantara injuries, it's kind of cut his life short, and I don't know what he's going to do for the rest of his like kind of career. Maybe get into modelling, maybe be a coach. Don't know. Probably get into being a manager. Be another Pep Guardiola. Never know. But
I can see
yeah,
doing that.
it's sad.
Yep, no, sad. He was a great player. Just elegance about him. I loved the way he controlled the games. He was brilliant for Bayern Munich as well, especially. So yeah, sad to see. And I could see him going into management or something in the future. We'll not know. We don't know yet. But yeah, Thiago Alcantara retired as well. So for the final part of the show, Pearse will now give all the latest news from Asian football.
Yeah, so we'll start off with some K League One action. So on Friday, the 5th of July, we had two matches, and that was Incheon United 1, Gimcheon Sangwoo 1, Suwon FC 1, Ulsan HDFC 1. And then Saturday, the 6th of July, we had Jeju United 3, FC Seoul 2, Daegu FC 3, Pohang Steelers 3. Then Saturday, 7th of July, we had Daejeon Hana Citizen 2, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors 2, Gangwon FC 2, Gwangju FC 0. And then Tuesday, 9th of July, with Daegu FC 0, Incheon United 0, Gimcheon Sangwoo 2, Suwon FC 3. So that was played earlier this evening. And we've got 4 matches tomorrow night and Wednesday, 10th of July, all set for a 7:30 kickoff. And that is FC Seoul versus Daejeon Hana Citizen, Jeonbuk Hyundai Motors versus Jeju United, Pohang Steelers versus Gangwon FC, and Ulsan HDFC versus Gwangju FC. So it's leaving the K League One table looking like this. So the top of the table, Gimcheon Sangwoo remain top on 40 points after 22 matches played. And then closely followed by Ulsan HD, who are on 39 points with a game in hand, and Pohang Steelers on 38, and Gangwon FC and Suwon FC both on 37 points. So as you see, 5 sides are separated by just the 3 points. And a couple of the sides have got a game in hand, so it's all set for interesting top of the table viewing. So the bottom half, we've got Jeonbuk, who are rock bottom rooted, 17 points after 12 matches, which is not good enough considering the caliber of player they've got in the squad. Daejeon Hana Citizen in 11th position on 19 points. And then just above them, we've got Daegu FC in 10th on 22 points, and Incheon United also on 22 points in 9th position, separated by just 3 goals. So now we move on to J League One action. So Friday the 5th of July, we had 1 match, and that was Sanfrecce Hiroshima 1, Vissel Kobe 3. Saturday 6th of July, we had Kashima Antlers 2, Hokkaido Considine Sapporo 0. FC Michiru Zelvia 1, Nagoya Grampus 0, Tokyo Verde 1, Cerezo Osaka 1, Albert Stingata 3, Sagan Tusu 4, Jubilee 2, Kawasaki Frontale 2, Ura Diamonds 2, Shonan BMF 3, Gabo Osaka 4, Yokohama F Mariners 0, Kashi Racers 3, FC Tokyo 2, and then the final match of the weekend was Sunday the 7th of July, and that was Avispa Fukuoka 1, Kyoto Sanga FC 2. So it's leaving the table looking like this. Top table of FC Michiru Zelvia, get a 5-point advantage. Top table, 22 matches played, 46 points. And then with 2 sides, joint second, Kashima Antlers and Gambo Osaka both on 41 points, separated by just the 2 goals. And then last season champions, just behind them in 4th position, that's Vissel Kobe in 4th position on 40 points. And it's only 6 points separating the 4 sides at the moment. And at the bottom half of the table, we've got Looks like relegation fodder in the Hoikuro Consul Sapporo. 11 points after 22 matches, a minus 27 goal difference. It's safe to say they did a miracle at this point to stay in the league at the halfway stage. And then 19th position, we've got Shonan Belmare on 19 points after 22 matches. Kota Sanga on 21 points in 18th position. And just outside the relegation places, we've got Sagan Tusu in 17th position on 23 points. So in terms of other Asian football news, Japan forward Takuma Asano has just signed for La Liga outfit Real Mallorca after his contract expired at VfL Bochum in the Bundesliga. A club who he helped stay up in the Bundesliga for another season, at least, and is paying a 2-year contract with the La Liga side. Yokohama F. Mariners are reportedly considering the future of Harry Kewell amid their 4-game losing streak. Yokohama sits 13th in the league with just 26 points from 22 games, 7 wins, 5 draws, 10 defeats, and 20 points off league leaders FC Machina Zelvia. Should the Aussie depart, the J-League side, World Cup winning manager Joachim Low and John Regensburg sporting director Akim Bertloxler are among candidates that are being considered for the position if they do decide to part ways with Harry Kewell. So Alexander Schultz, we told you last week in the podcast that he played his final match for Red Diamonds. It's now been confirmed that he's now joined Qatari side Al Wakra on a 2-year deal following his departure from the J-League One side. So the KFA have announced that Ulsan HDFC manager Myung-Bo has been appointed as the next South Korean national team head coach. This is Hong's second stint in charge of the South Korea after a poor World Cup campaign back in 2014 in Brazil, which resulted in Hong's resignation. It was a disappointing performance with 2 defeats and 2 draws and 1 defeat, sorry. And few will forget the image of the players returning to Incheon International Airport and being pelted with yacht or Korean traditional confectionery by awaiting fans. That seemed to end a very promising coaching career in the game for Hong, but a legendary player with 136 caps for the South Korean national team, and he was the captain of that famous 2002 semi-final team. Had success with the under-20s and then led the under-23s to a bronze medal at the 2012 Olympic Games in London. And then after that, exit from Brazil, Hong worked at the KFA for a while before taking over Ulsan HDFC in 2021. He's had plenty of success down in the southeast of South Korea, and he's won the K-League One Championship in 2022 and 2023. Fans of the Tigers are unhappy that they've lost a very successful coach halfway through the season. At the moment, Ulsan is second and well placed to make it 3 in a row. And that is all your latest Asian football news.
Thank you, Pearse, and thank you everyone for listening to this episode of the Football Chuggu Podcast. This podcast will be available to listen to on the Football Chuggu YouTube channel and also the Football Chuggu website. Also, thank you to Tommy. He'll go home. He'll go to after this podcast. He'll be upset, obviously, about the anti-Considine news. But thank you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.